Welcome back to episode 63 of the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast. And in this week's episode, going to recap all the action that was going on over the weekend, starting with King and Queen of the Ring on Saturday, May 25th, which was also the 3-year anniversary of Sleeper Sports Media. So it's only fitting that I had gotten an episode out before, and now going to do a recap and review, which is what this all started as. I missed a good portion of the event just because I slept in. Haven't gotten a chance to rewatch it, but I know that I was pretty much spot on with all my predictions and whatnot. And so just getting right into it, ended up being 5 main card matches and then 1 pre-show match. Was very surprised whenever they added the pre-show match on SmackDown the night before. Confirming it, we had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell for the women's tag titles. The match went 8 minutes. Bianca and Jade retained. Nothing surprising there. To start off the main card, it seems like Becky Lynch has gotten into a habit of starting off premium live events for WWE, although that's going to be on the shelf for a bit as she takes her extended leave now. Singles match for the Women's World Championship, 16 and a half minutes. Liv Morgan did beat Becky Lynch. I called that one. Then we had the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Went about 13, almost 14 minutes. Sami Zayn defeated Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. Called that one as well. Said it would have been cool for Gable to win, but my pick was Zayn to retain. And then Queen of the Ring went just under 10 minutes. Nia Jax did beat Lyra Valkyria. I'm pretty sure I said I see this one going the way that it went, but obviously that's not what I would have wanted. I think Lyra was my pick as of Tuesday on NXT, from last week. And then King of the Ring final. This one was the second longest match of the night. Gunther beat Randy Orton, but there was controversy, of course, because Randy's shoulders were up, and Triple H even said that, we probably could or should get a rematch for the King of the Ring, for the King of the Ring title, and the opportunity to get a title match at SummerSlam. But Gunther did win. He was seen on Raw, which we will get into whenever we get to Monday night. And then the main event, which is what I caught the very end of Gunther versus Randy Orton, and then I did see all of Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul for the WWE Championship. Another fantastic match by Logan. The drone shot was his idea that he's been pitching for a couple years now. Everything about it. So this event was great. From what I did see on Twitter and whatnot, eventually I'll go back and actually rewatch and be able to see everything that was involved. That was Saturday. Then we had Sunday, Double or Nothing. I again missed the watch long, and didn't get to watch it, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I heard it was a very, very long one. So I don't even know where to begin with Double or Nothing. The return of MJF, I was almost asleep as I heard his music hit, and I couldn't believe it that he had actually returned. I know that right before it started, I was seeing on Twitter that it was going to be a can't miss show. There's going to be stuff going on right from the very beginning, and we definitely did get that. So the buy-in kicked off with the grudge match, Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. looks like Deanna did get the win, which is good. I'm happy for that. I mean, for the buy-ins, I guess it really doesn't matter. But eventually, Thunder Rosa or Deanna Peraza getting back into the title picture would be fantastic. I think. Um, and then we had the trios match, the Acclaimed against the Cage of Agony, Brian Cage, Gates of Agony, whatever. Another buy-in match. Looks like the Acclaim did get the win, and then we get into the main card. We kick it off with the International Championship matchup. I was watching a little bit here, and then I started dozing off. And I know I missed the very beginning of it, but I did see on Twitter that there was a video of the first 9 minutes, which was when Will Ospreay took that spot off the apron and landed on his neck. Really, what looked like really bad. Um, but Ospreay did get the win, and then which is I fell asleep and didn't. I was dozing off and didn't see the full ending, and then I missed Adam Cole returning, and then MJF's music hit. That's when I woke up and was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And then, of course, I just that I watched MJF's promo, everything that he said about it, everything that was AEW when he was there, when he was the champion to now it's all worth it now. Looks like he has re-signed with AEW. He got the AEW tattoo that he showed us. It says "Bet on yourself" with the AEW poker chip. Um, Quoted the Wolf on Wall Street. Everything about this was perfect. So excited for him to return to Dynamite next week, which I was hoping he would show up last night as I did the watch along, my first one back in quite some time after taking a much needed break. But MJF is back in AEW. They did say last night that he has signed for the long term, so that's exciting. I can't wait to see the warpath that he goes on. Um, we are discussing it last night if he will continue a feud with Adam Cole, or just they're not gonna do it right now. They're gonna kind of let it be and then pick it up eventually. Because as of right now, they have a draw and MJF has a win, and that's it. Going into the Unified World Trios Championship, which I still don't understand if it's eventually they're going to give them a name of either the AEW or the Ring of Honor, whichever one they would want to do. But we had the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle, um, which the Bang Bang Gang would retain. And as we talked about it last night, with the return of Juice Robinson, Earl had said about adding a fourth member to that triangle and then doing blood and guts. And of course, Mac, he beat me to it last night. He said, well, if they add, it would have to be the death square then if there's four of them. And I was thinking the exact same thing. So but that would be a fantastic idea. Blood and guts versus with these two teams. um Great idea, without a doubt. Then we go into the AEW Women's World Championship match: Timeless Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb. Nigel McGuinness was back on commentary for this one after his brief viral moment with from Collision, whenever Mariah May did whatever she did. And I guess Storm once again retained. And then after that one, we had Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta, which it's it's crazy to me that besides the 0 hour shows, this was the only single match, just regular singles match, for non-title, non-stipulation match on the main card. Orange Cassidy beat Trent Beretta. which, you would think, okay, that's going to be the end of it. But as we saw on Dynamite last night, it's clearly not. Then we get into the triple threat for the FTW title: Chris Jericho, Hook, and Shibata. Jericho would win and then go on to debut last night TV time, which really was just him blabbering constantly as he does best. Um, After that one, we had the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match, which I don't understand. No one knows why. Me, Earl, Sarah, Mac, everyone that was on the watch along last night for Dynamite, we have no idea why they made this an eliminator match on the pay-per-view and then had another eliminator match on Dynamite last night. Jon Moxley beat Takeshita. And now, really, I mean, what more do you what direction do you go with Moxley and um, what he's doing with the New Japan title? After that one, we got the barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT Championship, um, with the stipulation of had if Adam Copeland loses, he would have had to bend the knee and join the House of Black. Um, and then I know that they did make the stipulation. He did. He said if he won, then House of Black would take over House of Black. Um, Copeland did end up winning, but as we saw, um, he broke his leg, so he is now vacating the TNT Championship, and we're going to see a tournament crown a new champion. They're not a tournament, but we're going to have qualifying matches, and then it's going to be determined in a ladder match at Forbidden Door, which should be a lot of fun. Seems to be the tradition of the TNT title to have ladder matches involved when crowning a new champion. From the TNT title over to the TBS title, we have Mercedes Moné beat Willow Nightingale with Chris Statlander and Stokely turning heel on Willow. I guess this was a decent match. I know Joe joined us last night, was talking about this one a little bit. I was trying not to have it spoiled for me since I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna go back and watch it eventually. But Mercedes Moné finally beats Willow after their matchup in New Japan for the strong open weight title a year ago when she was injured. Then we have from there, so we have a new champion there. I think she was the only one. Yeah, that Willow was the only champion to lose, which I did see that coming. Called that, I'm pretty sure. Then we have the AEW World Title. This one almost went 25 minutes. This was the second longest match on the card. We had Swerve Strickland beat Christian Cage. I'm gonna watch that one back as well. And then they promoted it as a triple main event. But the actual main event was the Anarchy in the Arena match. This was, from what I've seen on Twitter the next day, that Monday. This was crazy and insane from start to finish. The Elite won, and this one almost went 30 minutes. So that was the full weekend. I love those full weekends of wrestling. It's always a good time whenever events line up where we have weekends of both WWE and AEW pay-per-views or events in the same weekend. So that was Sunday. We go into Monday, kick things off on Raw with Damian Priest and Gunther in a face-to-face, and then interrupted by Drew McIntyre. As some people forget, he is the next challenger for Priest in the World Championship at Clash at the Castle. I'd say I'm excited for it, but I just don't care. I don't. There's still they're still circling this around the whole McIntyre needs to have his moment in front of the fans and blah blah blah. It just he's cried about it for so long now that I'm over it. I've been over it. I've been saying that since Mania when he won. I mean, immediately I thought, okay, he's only winning because Seth is hurt. He needs time off, and it makes sense because his contract situation. Um, said from the very beginning, if McIntyre wins and Priest cashes in right away, it's gonna be the funniest thing ever, and it was. Um, I would rather see Drew have gone on a rampage and gotten suspended, quote unquote, and then waited until Punk was fully healed and then started their feud right away, and just done Priest and Gunther, 2 or 3 times from now to until Bash in Berlin. Um, that segment was okay. It just I don't really care. It everything about both companies right now is too new to be. It's exciting, but it's too new to really be okay with it being new and exciting. But the first match of the night was Braun Strowman and JD McDonough. Looks like Braun Strowman absolutely decimated McDonough. I mean, as he should. I hope they figure out how to use Strowman correctly and don't just make him what he has been in the past for WWE on the Raw side. Then we go into someone else who I think needs to be used correctly and needs to just get on a path of being shown that they can use him correctly. Braun Breaker, Ricochet versus Ila Dragunov ended in a no contest because Braun Breaker he came out speared. I mean, just absolutely destroyed both Ricochet and Dragunov. Ended up getting a fine from Adam Pearce. Later in the show, I guess it tripled from what I saw on Twitter and whatnot. And then we got a tag match. AOP defeated the Creed brothers. I don't know why AOP is getting wins, especially over a team like the Creed brothers. I think if anything, this should definitely lead to them joining heel Gable. Heel Chad Gable, that is 100% for certain. Then we go into Lyra Valkyria defeated Kairi Sane. Then she had a moment. I'm assuming that's when she had the moment backstage with Becky Lynch. As that's what surfaced and I was seeing on Twitter Tuesday morning when I got up and went to work very early, sadly. So I did not get to watch Raw. After that one, we had Rey Mysterio defeated Carlito. Don't care about anything surrounding this feud. I'm over it. Bronson Reed defeated Otis. Another one I don't care about. So I get that led into, I guess, something that's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about the heel Gable and the splitting of Alpha Academy and whatnot. Maxine Dupree stopped Chad Gable from striking Otis and beating him with his belt. Then we had Chad Gable got pulled out his inner tribal chief and studying the Roman Reigns tapes of manipulation. Gable manipulates Otis and Tozawa. Continued to then beat down Sami Zayn. I'm sure this is leading towards a one-on-one match for the Intercontinental title, with either Sami and Reed first or Sami and Gable first. Eventually, I could see Gable winning it. I would love to see that, but I guess that will be down the road in quite some time. Then we have the main event, steel cage match, women's world title, the rematch from Queen of the Ring. Huh. Liv's first ever steel cage match. I didn't realize that. her first ever steel cage match was defending the title against Becky, which happened to be Becky made her debut in the same wherever they were. I don't even know where they were. Um, Wherever they were Monday for Raw, Becky made her debut there in the same city, same arena 9 years ago. And now she has the final match on her current deal. And her current contract expires on Saturday, and she will be taking an extended time off. And probably if and when she would resign, more than likely return around the Rumble or while we're on the road to WrestleMania. Liv did win, retained. Becky had her moment afterwards, and the first thing that I saw Tuesday morning was Liv and Dom they shared a moment, quite the moment. Dom is on the run of a Dominic Mysterio is on a generational run. Antonio Brown has nothing on Dirty Dom. I mean, everything about that was fantastic. I don't know why they wouldn't have shown it on TV. That was one of the big things I saw was everyone was complaining that the feed was cut before the kiss happened and everything. Apparently it was network issues with USA needing to get the just timing with where Raw was and it needed to end and then get on to the next show for USA. That was Raw Monday night, and then we get onto NXT, which was quite the show. A lot of surprises, a lot of fun surprises. Surprises as surprise for me is in I didn't know what to expect from this sexy red thing character person coming on to NXT. Yeah, I was definitely not sure what to think. To start it off, we had the Women's NXT North American Championship revealed with Ava and Sexy Red, of course, and then it was also announced that she will be the host of Battleground, where we will see the first Women's North American Champion be crowned in a ladder match. We had the second to last qualifier, Michin beat Tatum Paxley, and then after that, we went into Riley Osborne defeated Ridge Holland. We found out who Roxanne Perez is going to be facing at Battleground for the NXT Women's Championship, which is Jordan Grace, TNA's Knockouts Women's Champion. That's going to be a lot of fun. The OC defeated Malik Blade and Edris Anofe. So I'm guessing that tag match will be added to Battleground, which I'm excited for. Then we had Lola Vice versus defeated Ariana Grace. No surprise there. Dante Chen defeated Lexis King. Once again, Lexis King losing 2 weeks in a row. Not sure what we're doing here, what direction we're going. Kalani Jordan defeated Ren Sinclair in the other qualifier match, and now the field is set for Battleground. And then we had the main event. Trick Williams and Javon Evans beat Gallus, and Booker T was fighting for his life the entire night because Sexy Red made her second appearance for the night. And then, of course, we had the confirmation that we're going to get an underground match at Battleground. Shayna Baszler will be involved in that one. Since we're on the topic of Battleground, I'll run through what we have so far for that event, June 9th, which a Sunday pay-per-view for premium event, for NXT and Battleground out in Las Vegas at the UFC Apex. assuming there must be a UFC event on that Saturday, which is why they're doing it on Sunday. We have, of course, the first ever NXT Women's North American title, 6-pack ladder match. Sol Ruka versus Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, Jada Parker, Michin, Kalani Jordan. Jada Parker, I think, is my number one pick for this match. And we have a NXT North American Championship triple threat as well. Obafemi versus Wesley versus Joe Coffey. I would love to see Wesley win and get his title back, but I could also see Obafemi retaining. And then we have the NXT Underground match, Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice. Excited for this one, big time. Hunter from Apples and Grapes Media and I will be doing a watch along for NXT Battleground. Then we have, as I said before, the NXT Tag Team Championship, Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the OC. And that's what we have right now for Battleground coming up in a couple of weeks. All right, reviewing AEW Dynamite from last night as part of the watch along. Had a fun time honoring Jeff and seeing all the tribute video that Mitch made, and just talking about the memories that everyone has had with Jeff. We do miss him. AEW was from the Kia Forum last night in Los Angeles. We kicked it off with Mercedes Moné's TBS championship celebration. And then we would be interrupted by Sky Blue, who ended up revealing that she was the one that attacked Mercedes a couple weeks ago. And then they would end up having a title match later in the night, where Mercedes did win. More on that later as we get to that part of the night. Then we had the House of the Dragon Who's House match. AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland versus Killswitch. This was sponsored by House of the Dragon Season 2, coming to Max in a week and a half, I believe, on June 16th. I'm excited for that one as well. Might have to get Max and rewatch Season 1. Then we had, eventually we would get an announcement from Tony Khan via Tony Schiavone that Mercedes will have her first title defense tonight against Sky Blue, which is what we then got later in the night. After that, we had the debut of TV time with the Learning Tree FTW champion Chris Jericho. Not digging this new gimmick for Jericho, as I don't think anyone else is. Anyone else is either. Brian Keith, who I don't even know who the guy is. Apparently he was a part of the FTW match, and he came back and debuted or returned, whatever, at Double or Nothing. Then we had Hook and Smojo come out and then just walk away. And then after that, we had a video package highlighting the NJPW Strong Women's Champion and CMLL Women's World Champion, CMLL Women's Tag Team Champion Stephanie Baker, ahead of ahead of Forbidden Door. I don't even know I don't know who she is. I know that whenever Earl said CMLL, I tuned out, because I would tune out if he would have said New Japan versus CMLL, but I can't get into watching anything besides AEW and WWE. Forbidden Door will be fun, but it's full of people that I don't know, so gonna make the best of it. Then we had the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship eliminator match, Jon Moxley versus Rocky Romero. Again, I don't know who this guy is, and one of the comments last night was, it was funny. Someone said that they make the IWGP title more prestigious on AEW TV than they do their own title. Moxley had had an eliminator match on Sunday at Double or Nothing, and then he had another one on Wednesday, and it was kind of pointless. I mean, it was just to kind I guess it was just to kind of have him on the card and to fill time, but could have used that time. Could have not had the match on and then given that time to other segments. Then we had Don Callis coming out to present a contract to Orange Cassidy to get him to join the Don Callis family, which Orange Cassidy would then reject. And then, of course, we had Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander come out, and we had another attacking of Trent Beretta to Orange Cassidy. I don't know. I wish they would. Everything they're doing is just like, can we just speed it up? I mean, they're really dragging this whole thing out. I mean, Trent turned heel, and now we have Chris turning heel on Willow. So is it going to go to Orange Cassidy and Willow versus Trent and Chris Statlander, a mixed tag match? I'd be okay with that. It would be something new and exciting versus just constantly having the one-on-one matches and then randomly having a tag match here and there, whatever. Eh. I mean, it was all right, I guess. But then we get Renee backstage with Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia. I missed this segment as we were on the watch long, wasn't able to watch everything because we would tap in and talk different things, rumors and whatnot. Then we got the TBS Championship match. Mercedes did defend against Sky Blue, retained. Then we had a face-to-face of Stephanie Baker and Mercedes Moné. So I think that's the way they're going for Forbidden Door. We got a video package showing that MJF will return, and his signing of AEW for the long term next week on Dynamite. He will be back. Then we had the EVPs who addressed the TNT Championship, and I said right away, they're just going to give it to Jack Perry, aren't they? And that's what they tried to do. And then, sure enough, we had somebody come out, and we now have a Christopher Daniels came out and then said that Tony Khan has deemed him an interim EVP. Why wouldn't they just make him a GM? Because you could make a case for a GM being over, general manager being over the EVPs, which is what the Young Bucks are. So he's an interim EVP. So that doesn't give him. He's still a lower title than what the Bucks are. So I would have. I don't know why they wouldn't have just said GM, and then given him, show that he has more power than the Young Bucks. Which he made the announcement of the qualifying matches, and then the ladder match that will name the new TNT champion at Forbidden Door. Then we had, which is fine. It's gonna be a fun match. So after that, we go into backstage. We had Swerve cutting a promo backstage. Rush was also backstage and had strong words for MJF. So I really hope that they don't have MJF come back and have a feud with Rush. I'm excited for MJF to return. That is without a doubt 100% going to be a lot of fun. Then we had the Casino Gauntlet match, where the winner would get a world championship match at Forbidden Door. Switchblade Jay White, Pac, a couple other guys. I was shocked that Will Ospreay ended up winning this. Given that he just won the international title, we're going to get a title. I'm assuming it's just going to be champion versus champion, not anything crazy like title for title. At at Forbidden Door. But that was Dynamite. That was Dynamite. It's going to wrap up the wrestling portion of this episode, Sleeper Sports Media Podcast, episode 63. Now we're going to get into the WNBA side of things, since that's the football's not quite back yet. And I've been paying some close attention to the WNBA and Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin, all the rookies right now. Indiana, they got to figure something out with either make a coaching change or just do a better job of letting Caitlin be Caitlin. This is insane that they lost again Tuesday night. I mean, Caitlin absolutely was dominant, 30 points, and they still lost. They lost by 6. So that's better than their loss to Vegas from Saturday night, where they lost by 19. And Caitlin and the rest of the team looked rested for once. They had, I mean, their first 5 games, the first 5 of the 7 games this season were on the road for them. And they had 7 games in 8 different cities in 12 days. So they had the much needed rest on the way back from Vegas back to Indiana. And they of course played tonight. So from Sunday, the 26th, Minnesota beat Atlanta, Dallas beat Los Angeles, Connecticut stayed undefeated and beat Phoenix. The Sparks got one back on Indiana, beating them by 6. Like I said, Seattle beat Chicago. Wednesday, we had New York staying undefeated, beating Phoenix. Or no, they had already lost. So Connecticut I believe, is still the only undefeated team left. New York beat Phoenix. Atlanta beat Washington. Vegas beat Minnesota. None of those right there surprised me. And then tonight we have Seattle and Indiana 4-3 against 1-7. That's on Prime Video at 7 p.m. Could possibly be doing a watch long for that. And then at 8 o'clock we have Los Angeles against Chicago. Both those teams are struggling just as bad as what Indiana's struggling, but of course, because they have one more win and less losses, people are going to say, make this whole big deal, make it a whole bigger deal than what it is, saying Indiana and Caitlin is it helping Indiana, given that they've had the last 2 number 1 picks, 2 number 1 overall picks in the draft. What can you expect? It's every time I watch them, I don't know what it is. They're either getting blown out or they're making it a game and losing by 6, by 2 or 3. But yeah, they just got to figure something out. Washington is 0-7, still has yet to win a game. I definitely think that checks out in the sense of they're the worst team in the league right now. I haven't watched much of them, but whenever I did have watched them, they've lost. I'm gonna go over the stats real quick. I think, like, I saw last night that Caitlin is leading every category for rookies except for blocks, and of course Cameron Brink is leading that category, so which makes sense. Caitlin has 21 3-pointers on the season. She's in second in that category. She's 4th in assists per game, 6.3. Asia Wilson on Vegas is having another MVP caliber year. It's been fun to watch Vegas. They're they are clicking. Kate Martin is getting playing time. No, no confusion, no question that I think they might actually run this thing and go for the three-peat and actually get to actually do it. I definitely could see it being Vegas and Connecticut in the finals. Maybe New York sneaks back in there, but right now Connecticut being 6-0. I'm not too upset that Indiana has two losses to them. Besides of what that could do for potential tiebreakers. Although right now I think Indiana just has to focus on getting wins now in the regular season versus needing tiebreakers and whatnot to sneak into the playoffs. I know they only play 40 games. We're about a quarter of the way through the season already. It's going to be a fun rest of the way, and I can't wait to see what changes they make and how they continue this and see when they bounce back. It's been a fun time watching and covering the WNBA. I haven't been a big basketball fan for quite some time now since I stopped watching in 2016 or 17. Um, Whenever LeBron had his last back to back to back finals run against the Warriors. And that's gonna basketball corner for this portion is wrapped up. And to end it, I'm gonna go over some news, rumors, and reports from everything wrestling back to wrestling wise, WWE, AEW, and this is all per ringside news. Becky Lynch has her post WWE plans set. Her contract expires on Saturday, like I said. She's going to be out for some time, an extended period of time, which she deserves it. She was going to take the time off after WrestleMania anyway, so she just stepped in because Rhea was hurt. While speaking on the Wrestler Observer Radio from Dave Meltzer, oh boy, he went on to say that she's taking an extended leave, not for a short period of time, for a long. That's what extended leave means, Dave. When continue to go on to say Seth Rollins not being on the road, it makes more sense for her to also not be on the road, which yeah, it does makes all the sense in the world. Makes so much sense that you don't really need to point that out. I guess that was kind of a dead end conversation, but what do you expect? What more can you expect from Dave Meltzer? He also goes on to say Tony Khan has addressed potentially signing Becky Lynch. That was also a topic we had on the Dynamite watch along last night of Becky possibly going to AEW or ending up going to Hollywood. I see it more likely happening. Her testing the waters in Hollywood, either movies or TV shows, potentially just testing the waters in any way, versus going to AEW. I think her and Seth are WWE for life, and that's been very well noted. Definitely don't see Rebecca Quinn being all elite. Also, per ringside news, this is from today. Adam Cole, next title plans for Adam Cole have been revealed. Before he got hurt, I'm guessing this is going to lead to having Cole and MJF. They were going to have another match and be for the. Whew, all right, that was tough to try to read that very written very in a very confusing way. but there were plans for MJF and Adam Cole to wrestle late 2023. Adam Cole was considered for possibly winning the title from MJF at the time, but then he got hurt, so that set off a chain of events that changed everything. That led to, of course, MJF losing, Cole turning on him at World's End, and to what we have now, which it makes sense. I said it last night on the watch long. I definitely think they can continue the feud. Give them the trilogy. We have MJF winning the first match, or ending in a draw in the first match, and then winning the second match at All In. Give them the trilogy and the rematch at All In this year, and then also make that for the number one contendership, and then have Adam Cole win. Then you got one win apiece. You could even do a fourth match, and you could do a title rematch, Adam Cole and MJF, when Cole has the title. They worked great together. The chemistry was off the charts, and it sucked that it went the way that it went to where it ended because of Adam Cole's injury, MJF's injuries, and just needing the rest that he got. Given how it ended, it was very obvious that it was, I mean, they named it World's End, so I think everything tied together perfectly, but also it kind of sucked that it tied together perfectly because he lost in his hometown. He was hurt, so you kind of had to take the title off of him. Everything that he did with the title, setting the longest reigning AEW champion, and then getting hurt, losing it because he was hurt. It sucked, and it would have been cool to see had they not, neither of them gotten hurt, to see where it could have gone, to have MJF and Adam Cole go back and forth with a feud, prolonged feud. Given that was the best thing that AEW had going at the time, and still probably the best feud and best thing from AEW in the last 6 months. Same with Roman Reigns and everything that he did, given that, led into WrestleMania. I mean, I don't know what we were all expecting for Cody to finally beat him, and then now we get everyone complaining because Logan Paul is who they have challenging Cody at King and Queen of the Ring. What did you expect? Roman beat everyone. Cody jumped the line and also beat everyone in a sense, and then won the title. What else are they going to do? So it looks like we got some breaking news. An article just buzzed on from Ringside. Looks like there was a clarification on controversial 2024 King of the Ring ending. Trying to read through it. According to Fightful Select, it was reported that the spot with Randy Orton having his shoulder above the mat was not planned. So it definitely was just a botch. Not even really just a botch. Not even really a botch. Just okay, it happened. In case anyone was wondering, we've confirmed with WWE that the spot at King of the Ring with Randy Orton and his shoulder being up was not intentional. That is from Ringside News per Fightful Select. Triple H did address it, like I said earlier, the controversy surrounding the match's ending. Confirmed that they would eventually have a match in the future once Randy Orton is healed up. So I guess Randy got out of that match little banged up. which is okay. Given that he's come back, he's looked incredible. It does suck when I don't know. I don't think it's anything serious though. Yeah, that's gonna just about do it for this episode of Sleeper Sports Media Podcast, episode 63. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel, Hardcore Sports Network. All the people that I collab with on this channel, go follow me on Facebook, my personal page, and the Sleeper Sports Media Group. Also follow and give a like to the Hardcore Sports Network Facebook page. And I will see you next time.